peepettes. I see Sky's here already. Wow, that's amazing. I just hit go live. But yes, everybody hit like. I'm watching you. I know what's happening. I see Scout Guy. I don't know how you got in here so fast. Damn, man. It's pretty awesome, but still. All right, let's see what we got going on. Mark says, Captain on the bridge. Howdy, soldier. It's fine. Richard Napier, hello. Gonna let those, actually. Kit says I just hit like. Good to see you, Kit. Let's see. I'll be having a drink for every super chat. Again. Eric says, I'm finally awake for this one. Well, that's good, Eric. I would say finally. You don't miss many of them. You just missed yesterday's. And that's fine. You don't have to be at everyone. But I want to just point out that Eric, thank you for lunch yesterday. That was awesome. Eric came to London and we went to Boston Pizza and he bought me lunch. Because he says he hasn't been super chatting a lot. You don't need to do that kind of stuff, but I appreciate it. But you don't have to do that. So maybe next time we go for lunch, it'll be on me. We'll see. Richard Napier for your first drink. Well, thank you. And of course, today, again, I still have some of these left. The Crown Royal Whiskey and Cola. Actually, I think this is my last one. But can't go wrong with Crown Royal and Cola. You just can't. It's impossible. But thank you, Richard, $10. This is for your first drink. Well, cheers. Thank you. All right. J.L. Young is here. Devin is here. Fleet Paw is here. Hey, Foley, it's been a busy weekend, so I'm glad to spend some time with you. Good to see you, Fleet Paw. Hold on one second. I just got to do something to help do that. Let's see. I also got to see the Camaro up close. I'm not worthy. LOL, says Eric. He did. He saw the Camaros, so. Cody Michaels. Hey, Cap. I'm here. Good to see you, Cody. Let's see. Go home, Master Chief. You are drunk. Ah, yes. Misha is eating a chicken sandwich. Well, hopefully that chicken is dead and cooked. Because otherwise, gross. And defeathered would be awesome as well. Let's see. So what's everybody up to this weekend? Hope you're having a good weekend. And hopefully you have a good week leading up to the premiere of Strange New Worlds. So yeah, season finale of Picard and the premiere of Strange New Worlds all on the same day, so it should be so pleasant. But at least it's only 1 week. It's not like Discovery where there was like 3 or 4 weeks of overlap. Cody is making guacamole. Who wants some? I'd love some guacamole. Holy guacamole. I would love some. Hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already. 29 likes, or 29 people watching, 16 likes. Eric says, 2 pieces of red velvet cake at my mom's birthday today, but I'm managing to stay awake. Good man. Stargazer says, excited for new Trek. Aren't we all? Always? Chuck A, did you see the trailer for episode 10? I have not yet, no. Mark says, finally the season finale for Picard. I know. Kid 10K saw the opening to Strange New Worlds. I liked it. Wasn't the greatest of all time, but it was still good. Yeah, we'll be covering that on Monday. We're going to be doing a live at our regular time, breaking that down and discussing it and our thoughts on it. So if you can tune in for that, please do so. We'd appreciate it. Let's see. George Mangrum, good evening, Mon Capitan. Have you heard any reports from the Strange New Worlds premiere in New York? I have not, actually, which is weird because I had a few people get there, and some people that I know got there, and I haven't talked to them. So, Chuck A says the trailer looks good for episode 10. Cool. Fleetpaw, I hope episode 10 wraps everything up well. Yeah, here's hoping. I hope it's not a cliffhanger into the next season. That would kind of suck. So, but anyway. SC Scout Guy, do you think the actual opening for Stranger Worlds will have the cast names included in it? I hope so. Yes. It's one thing that is missing for sure. I wasn't sure how legit it was when I first saw it, just for that very reason. But yes, I would hope that it did. Like my only complaint, honestly, is I just wish it was the actual TOS Enterprise, because those are some beautiful shots. Don't get me wrong, the Strange New Worlds Enterprise looks really good. I love the design, but the TOS one there would be great. So I do hope that a fan whips up a TOS version of it, because that would be amazing to see that. Let's see. Vance, 1982. Hey there, Captain. Hey there, Vance. Matt Boardman, I see our favorite Discovery isn't canon and the clown is back. Yep. He's a little bit of a fucktard, but that's okay. No one here claims that Discovery is canon, so I don't know what the fuck his problem is. Eric Martin, a lot of people on YouTube that got an advance showing of Top Gun Maverick all say it's awesome. Yeah, I've heard that as well. So that's awesome. Let's see. George Mangrum, yes, names will be there. Prodigy was the same when the intro came out. Okay. Defiant, Mr. Raven Productions. Oh, for Jesus fucking Christ, I wish they'd shut their before I showed them earlier. Yeah, it's okay. We got it covered, man. It's all right. Vance, 1982. Captain, did you see the news about Robert April? I did. Fleetpaw, indeed. My band hammer finger is getting the workout. Let's stop talking about the dipshit. Just drawing attention to it. So stop talking about it. When it happens, it'll be dealt with. Let's just move on. No sense giving them any power by talking about them. Chuck A says, hey, I saw your name in Samuel's fan film. Good work. For Matt Boardman. Yeah, my name was there too, but only under Patreon. Only under the Indiegogo backers, under Captain Stuart Foley. I didn't get a special thanks or anything for all the support and help and friendship that I give the guy. I'm just kidding. I love you, Samuel. Let's see. Get 10K. What do you think about DC Legends of Tomorrow getting canceled? I'm aggravated because I hate when they cancel a show before cliffhanger is resolved. Well, that always sucks, but I have no thoughts on it. I haven't really watched Legends of Tomorrow, so. SC Scout Guy. A few of the shots in the Strange New World opening look really CGI. They look like they were taken directly from STO. You noticed that too, huh? Maybe it's not a finalized version. We'll see. Matt Boardman, Top Gun Maverick is awesome. Patrick Shelley, what is the ship beside the Enterprise? I don't know. I haven't had a chance to fucking look yet. We'll get there. We'll talk about that on Monday. Don't worry. What's this here? Grant McGregor. So Girardi didn't hear Picard say, look up. What will you do if the Borg Queen is a Picard? What will I do? I don't know. I'll sit there and watch it and talk about it later. What do you mean, what will I do? Chuck A. got me for a second, Stuart. Great. Grant McGregor, can this be a bet or something? I will drink X or you do Y. For what? You think the board queen is a Picard? I think it's Renee Picard? No, no, no. Yes, Defiant, Mr. Raven Productions. Love you too, man. It's all good. I don't know. It'll probably be some fucking Discovery ship that's beside them. So, I don't know. I mean, the opening's fine. It doesn't blow me away so much. It's not. Sure, it's ship porny, ship porny, but man, yeah, could have been a better ship. Maybe I don't know. Hold on, let me just do something here real quick again. I gotta do something. Cool, and turn that down to there. All right, there we go. Now, let's get you guys back up and running here. Good. Squadron Corps sent you the latest version of the book. Has big improvements to the ship data in the back. Ooh, cool. Fleet Pod. Garage sales are making a comeback. Finally, scored a sweet new dresser for $20. Nice. I like garage sailing, but I never get up early enough to do it. Eric Martin throws in $2. You look thirsty. I do. Thank you. I'm parched. Kit 10K. The Connies appeared in TOS. Would you want to see some, if any of them, in Strange New Worlds? The Connies? Yes. That's what the Enterprise is, so yeah, I want to see more of them. We're going to see one crash on a planet at some point. So, don't know quite what you mean there, Kit. Edgar Jeffcott. Hi, I'm curious. How did Elnor's sword get on board the ship? He never had it when he beamed on board. No, he didn't. And there's nothing to say it's his sword, but it is a sword. Which I kind of thought the same thing, and I brought it up during our live review, and Samuel was like, it's a Confederation ship, though. They're all about cruelty and that kind of stuff. So I could see them having it. Plus, if it's part of a dress uniform, like a ceremonial dress uniform, I don't have an issue with it. It wasn't his sword. It was just a sword. So there you go. That's the answer. Richard Full. Hi, Captain. It's been a long time since I popped in and say hi. Hope you're doing well. So what do you think is going to happen to Q? I have no idea. I'm giving up speculating at this point. I have no idea. I have no idea. Cody Michaels went to IKEA and finally got some Detolfs, like you got in your ready room. Love them. Detolfs, what is that? If you're talking about my shelving, that's not IKEA. That was custom-made shelving that a friend of ours had made for each side of their fireplace. And then they had to move to the Philippines. Well, they did have to because husband got a job, but so they gave us those. Those aren't IKEA. So I don't know if that's what you mean, but Squadron Course, Connie's makes me think of a Trek-themed Goonies parody. Fleet Pa throws in $2. Have another drink. Cheers. Thank you, Fleet Pa. The glass shelves, it's similar. Similar, but not the same. Mine are not IKEA. They're much better quality, actually. They're really nice. Kit 10K, sorry, typed too fast. I meant out of all of the other Connies besides the Enterprise that appeared in TOS, would you want to see in Strange New Worlds? But you answered my question. Yes, I would like to see more. I'd like to see the Hood. I'd like to see the Excalibur. I'd like to see the Congo, maybe. The Constellation would be cool to see. Even the Constitution. Seeing the actual Constitution 1700 would be awesome. So yeah, absolutely. I'm all about that. Colt Johnson, do you think the crew will make it back to the future in the next episode of Picard? If they don't, I'm going to be pissed. So they'd better. That's all I have to say. Do I think they will? Last week I would have said yes. This week, knowing what I know now, I'm not at all convinced. Scarpad's Comic Treks. What will you watch first on Thursday? Strange New Worlds or Picard? Probably gonna watch Picard first, just to see how it ends, and then go into Strange New Worlds. No sense watching Strange New Worlds and being like, that was really good, and then watch fucking a disappointment that is Picard. Better to watch something I know is going to be disappointing, and then go into something that hopefully might be better. Chuck A, which one are you going to watch? I just read that one. Never mind. Eric Martin, I'd rather see straight nacelle struts on the new Enterprise, but I do like the wider impulse engines. I don't like the wider impulse engines. I hate that impulse deck on the back of that saucer. It's hideous. I just prefer the simple one on the back of the TOS Constitution class. And yes, the ship looks 1,000 times infinitely better with straight struts. Let me show you something. Hold up. Who did I send that to, though? I sent somebody. Okay, sure, probably. Yeah, there it is. All right, so turn that off. Good. All right. So there we go. That's the TOS, or the Strange New Worlds Connie with straight struts. Looks far superior to that. That's what we have. That's what we wanted. I mean, they both look good. This one looks better. Just saying. See? Angled. Too refit looking. Refit's great. This looks fine, but that's better. That, for the record, is better. And then John Eves designed it with that slit so that when Kirk got it, there's upgrades, and they just removed that back part to have the original straight strut. That's thinner. If anybody tells you otherwise, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life, man. Get them out of here. The movie people. Has the good captain seen Uncharted, and what did he think of it if he did? I have not seen it yet, and I'm not looking forward to it because Tom Holland is a bad choice to play Nathan Drake. The fuck are they thinking? And Mark Wahlberg as the old dude? No. Terrible fucking casting ideas. Don't get me wrong, I love, the hell is his name now? Tom Holland. I love Tom Holland, but not for that role. It's piss poor casting. So. Colt Johnson, I think they will go back to the future, but it'll be some alternative future, like maybe Data is alive again. Tommy Mitchell, sorry man, but Star Trek Picard was bait and switch. They started off strong in the first 2 episodes of the 2nd season. However, when they went to the time travel angle, I knew it would be trouble. Well, that's exactly when Akiva Goldsman took over from Terry, though. So Terry wrote the first 2 episodes and then went immediately to season 3, and you can see the change in quality instantly. So, David C., I read a review of the several episodes of Strange New Worlds this morning. They're still making some of the same mistakes as other new Treks, like melodrama, bad plotting, and lapses in logic. Oh, great. Quadricorch, your logic is sound, but it saddens me to admit it. Bryce says, if I recall, the Confederation rifles have bayonets on them, so Confederation soldiers using edge weapons is a thing. They are probably trained in all sorts of stabby and slashy things. Yes, well, that's a much better way to kill things. More cruel, too. David C. I read it on Engadget, for what it's worth. I don't know what that means. Mark says, time travel could work if it was done right, but Picard didn't do it right. They did it right. They just should have had them in the past for 3 episodes, not the entire fucking season. Charles Williams, Picard season 1 or Picard season 2 if you had to watch through again. Picard season 2, hands down, is far superior to Picard season 1. Picard season 1 is fucking garbage. So, season 2. That's hard to say though too, fuck, because Picard, at least in season 1, was in space, and there was some space stuff, and got the Romulan, the antique Romulan bird of prey that they took out, and at least there's Starfleet uniforms and stuff going on. And that's a good question. Ooh, I don't know. I'd rather just, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there. Kit 10K, although Picard season 2 seems to have fizzled, message retracted. Thanks, Kit. Chuck A, hopefully no more flashbacks for Picard's childhood. I know, right? Way too many and way too long. Let's see, Vance says, I think Picard is okay, but hope for a better season 3, which is already will be with the majority of the old crew back for season 3. Yeah, and we've been told that season 3 is going to be kind of Trekyards jam. We're going to love it because a lot of ships and stuff. So we're excited. We're looking forward to it. So, Eric Martin, I always thought the impulse drive on the Refit Connie was too small and narrow. No, totally disagree with you. 1000% disagree with you. So, sorry, Eric. Cody Michaels, compared to the JJ prize, it's amazing. Yes, absolutely. Squadron course, the angled struts are just wrong for any Connie before TMP. Yes, you're absolutely right. Fleet Paw, I prefer the straight struts as well. It looks sexy. It looks way more sexy and way more like aggressive, like yeah, looks like a bulldog. Kit 10K in STO, when you get the Strange New Worlds Constitution class, you can give the ship angled or straight nacelles. Yes, you can. And I actually gave mine angled nacelles to be, or angled struts to be a little bit different. I liked it. Looked good. Now I'm like, I might want to change that. But it was unique. It was something new, and I liked it. But the rest of the ship looks very TOS still, so I don't know. Richard says, I see everyone talking about how disappointed they are because Picard isn't like the next gen. However, it is still is explorative in nature. It just doesn't explore space, but rather the human psyche. Well, I don't watch fucking Star Trek to explore the human psyche. I would watch like fucking some other show, which I can't think of any, but I'd watch some other show if I wanted that. I don't want that when I watch Star Trek. Tommy says, saw Uncharted, you're not missing much. That's what I thought. Misha, straight or angled, looks the same to me. Misha, I'm gonna slap you, man. Scarpad's comic tracks, Uncharted was pretty generic. Looked like it from what I saw. Chuck A, I'll be at the Starfest Denver on May 13th, Stuart. It's a shame you are not able to attend. It is a shame. I don't have the resources available to me right now to get down there in that amount of time after having just gone to Chicago and then having Wonderfest June 7th and 8th or 8th or 9th, something like that. I can't. I'm sorry. BJ Vincent. Hi, evening, Cap. I know this is wishful thinking, but I'm hoping that maybe Q Jr. and or Susie Plakeson's Q will show up to explain what is going on with Q. 100%, 1,000% will not happen, so... Cody says, are you saying the guy who wrote Batman and Robin doesn't know Star Trek? Yes. Jeff Broadbent, hey Captain, who is the biggest Karen in all of Trek? Kai Wen. Fleet Paw, I like the movie, but Akiva is not the greatest writer. Tommy Mitchell, I'm starting to lose faith in new Trek. However, we'll see if Strange New Worlds can save the Trek world. Eric Martin, those windows on the upper edge of the saucer on the new Enterprise are different. They wrap up around the side and over the top. Yes, we've already talked about that quite a bit, Eric. Not a design choice I would make, especially for a TOS Connie, but whatever. They're going to do their thing. Good old gamer. I still figure they'll refit the Enterprise and Stranger Worlds to resemble TOS more before the show is over. They've been moving closer to classic designs lately, like in Picard. That's the dream. We'll see. Kai Wynn is the space Karen, the queen of all Karens. Colin Barrett, at least we got to see a flashback grenade. The Darth Eddie, they really should have kept the TOS font for the name and registry numbers on the hull. She'd feel so much more like TOS Enterprise. Misha says, I continue to be the sole person online more or less enjoying Picard season 2. I don't hate it. It's just... like Samuel said, he's not angry, he's just disappointed. I'm the same way. So, Tommy Mitchell, where was Picard's brother in the flashback scenes? At summer camp, I suppose? Please tell me you're kidding, Tommy. There was a line of dialogue where Picard's mom says to Picard, let your father dig in the mud while your brother toils away at school. You and I will have fun together. Yes, he's at fucking school. So, Edgar Jeffcoat. I love Prodigy's opening theme tune, but Picard and Strange New Worlds are not catchy. Picard's awful. I hate the Picard theme song. Strange New Worlds didn't catch me either. So I agree with you there. I think Prodigy's the best of the new openings. It actually kind of rivals almost rivals Voyager's for one of the best themes. Speaking of, we were talking to Aaron Waltke today. We actually did 3 videos with him. He's like one of the lead guys on Prodigy. So, and he's a geek like us. He's been a Trekyards fan for about 4 years now, and we got down in the weeds on tech and cool stuff like that. So, yeah, that was my afternoon. Part of it, anyway. Bryce says both struts look good, but for history's sake, I prefer straight ones. Funny because I used to hate them, but it's the JJ prize, which finally grew on me. They made me appreciate straight struts. Misha, hey, how did you know getting slapped was one of my kinks? Moving on. Grant McGregor, question, if I were to make my own ship, what material would I need to read besides you guys? What material do you need to read? Maybe just the TNG technical manual. Probably the most helpful for design elements, I guess, but I don't know. Kit 10K, had to retract another message because of the damn autocorrect, but I said that I could hear Empress Pug sleeping in the back there. Yeah, she's right beside me, conked out. Jeff Broadbent, LOL, I was going to say Kai Wynn, but you've seen much more Trek than I, so I thought I'd ask. Mark says, I had forgotten that Akiva wrote Batman and Robin. That explains the movie. Bryce says, wait, so the first 2 episodes had a completely different writer? Wow, that explains so much. Yes. Terry Matalis wrote the first 2 episodes, and then immediately got reallocated to season 3 because they're going to be filming season 3 at the same time and kind of back to back of season 2. So he went and handled that, and Akiva took over the season 2 arc. So can you tell? Eric Martin, $5. I don't mind if you disagree. I have my Connie refit pet peeves, but generally love the design. Nothing wrong with the Connie refit. It's the absolute perfect starship. Not one thing wrong with it, my friend. Chuck A. Good night, Stuart. Thanks for the live. Good night, everyone. Good night, Chuck. Enjoy Starfest, man. Squadra Course. You know how some peeps complain the Connie struts are too small? I have always thought that it was fine because 99% hull strength is from the SIF. Structural integrity field. Yes. Colin Barrett. After seeing Picard, I'm beginning to wonder if Patrick Stewart's cameo in extras is closer to reality than we think. His cameo in extras. Don't know what that is. Grant McGregor. Hope those interviews come out. Trek or not, DS9 opening theme always gives me chills when it kicks in. I don't really like the DS9 theme, honestly. It's fine. I can watch it. I can't watch Picard's. It's just, you know. King Cut. In your opinion, what is the best outcome we can hope for the last episode of Picard? They go to the space launch. They kill Soong. Q somehow regains his powers because the launch goes through the way it's supposed to, unfettered from Soong. Q restores his powers and just snaps them back to before the Stargazer thing. So Picard has knowledge of what's going to happen as he flies into the Stargazer in the shuttle, and that's the best case scenario. Fleetpod, I don't hate Picard Season 2. I was hyped for it, and I couldn't wait to see it. Time travel stuff was okay, but it wasn't done well, and that was the biggest disappointment of all. Squadra says, read the tech manuals, yes. Including the DS9 one. The Darth Eddy, having TOS ship and space station models visible on recent episodes of Picard has me hopeful that the creators of New Trek will still honor the look that look closer to what we get in TOS in time frame. We'll see. Cody Michaels, and the OG Goldsmith motion picture theme will always be the Star Trek theme. 100% agree. Terrence Childs, hi everyone from the great state of Maryland. Where are you all from? Everybody sound off where you're from. Andre Benson, I said after Picard Season 2 started out with those 2 great episodes, I said I was concerned what will happen after they went back to 2024. It was up and down. I hope they finish strong. TNG and TOS have the best themes. Are you kidding? TNG's is good, but TOS's is just shit. I hate this. Hate's maybe too strong a word. I don't really enjoy much of the TOS music. No, just no. Fuck off. No, TOS is... Bah. SC Scout Guy, the cameo where he was in the trailer with Ricky Jarvis and told his idea for a show where every woman in the world was naked. Haven't heard of that or seen it. Colin Barrett, Stewart played a parody of himself as a bit part actor, interviewing it by Ricky Jarvis on his idea for a new TV show. Can be found on YouTube. It's hilarious. Okay. Eric Martin, Soong would already be dead if Rios wasn't a wuss. Trek or not, they should do an Elite Force 1 and 2 remaster. Yes. Bryce, I wish Disco Prize looked a lot more like TOS, though that design would have been great in the Kelvin movies, but because of Discovery, it won't make sense now to make the ship smaller and more primitive. Video awesome. I can't wait for Picard Season 2 to be over. I'm ready to be done with it and move on. Yes. Well, General Grievous says, hello there. We got Texas, New York, Indiana, Arkansas, Cork, Ireland. Oh, great. Darth Eddy says, I just ignore the CBS scale and dimensions of the Disco and Strange New Worlds Enterprise and other ships in both shows because Strange New World isn't consistent with the larger scale. It's close to 300 meters high. Or close to a 300-meter ship. Eric Martin, don't forget the Been a Long Time theme. I like that one. I don't mind Faith of the Heart at all. It's above TOS for me, for enjoyment, for being able to watch it. So... Grant McGregor, I like the bongos rhyme in TOS. Bongos rhythm. Fleetpaw says, hey now, Enterprise's theme was good. Enterprise has the worst theme? Absolutely, 100% no. No. Squadra Course, it's really hard to find music that sounds like Star Trek for games, fan films, etc. Grant McGregor. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask. So why did the Borg as them? I forgot to ask. So why did the Borg ask them to find a watcher? Why did the Borg ask them to find a watcher? Didn't ask them to. Said that they could. Good old gamer. Trek is never consistent with ship scales. Just ask the Jaeger class. Colin Barrett. If the Strange New World Enterprise is canon, then Scotty is the worst engineer in history of Starfleet. Completely downgraded the ship. Tom Nardi. There is a quick shot in Strange New World's trailer where the ship takes a direct hit to the strut and it starts to glow. Maybe wishful thinking, but perhaps the result is replacement with TOS style. That's absolutely 100% wishful thinking, my friend. Eric is from Woodstock, Ontario, just northeast of me. Justin, Chatham, Ontario. General Grievous says, just be glad the TO theme is as good as it is. It could have been a lot worse. Gene Roddenberry originally had planned to have lyrics sung in the song. I know, I've heard the lyrics. Squadron Chorus, Face of the Heart has grown on me, but I still wish they had used Archer's theme for the intro. The Darth Eddy, the Defiant changes size compared to other 24th century starships so often that even Berman Trek seemed like it didn't know how to depict starship size. But it was a new ship. It wasn't the classic fucking ship that started the fucking franchise. You don't fuck with the size of something like that. You just, the Defiant was, oh, it's the Defiant. It's small, it's Borg killer. We gotta make it a little bit bigger this week. You know, it's fine. It's a new ship. Nobody cares. So, sorry to offend the Enterprise theme people. Well, you should be, Video Awesome. Should be. Richard says, one thing I noticed in Picard Season 2, Episode 2 is the skull scene. Martok's skull was missing his front snaggletooth. It bothered me a bit. Bryce, this is a different fucking universe, though. Different timeline. He might not have get hit in the mouth when he was fucking 12 that caused the snaggletooth. It's not an issue, my man. It's relax. There's a lot more things that are egregiously bad than a tooth out of place. Bryce says, I have a theory that on the secondary hull there's a reinforced beam or structural element to each upper side of the hull running front to back, and you can mount nacelle struts anywhere along that line. Okay. Colin Barrett, Star Trek themes. It's been a long road getting from there to here. It's been a long time, but my time is finally here. I will see my dream come alive at last. I will touch the sky. But, man. This Squadron Course lists the following ships in order of size. Defiant, Bird of Prey, or the Jaeger. Oh, it should be Bird of Prey, Defiant, Jaeger. Jeff Broadbent. Hey, Justin, fellow Cathamite here. Fellow catheter here, what? Fleet Pod, it's been a long time, but my time has been in here. Get it going, Foley. We'll sing Face of the Heart. Arvor, just saw this new The Man Who Fell to Earth. The episodes so far are pretty good, which shows that Picard and Discovery can really do better, and kind of, spoiler, Kate Mulgrew is in it. Video Awesome. I don't necessarily care that much about the accuracy of the sets for TOS. I think the writing is by far the most important aspect of the show. Yeah, but we all know that's going to be a fucking letdown based on everything we've seen. Plus, Akiva Goldsman's in charge of all of Strange New Worlds, so he's the reason that season 2 of Picard sucks my asshole. So I'm really not confident the writing's going to be good. So I at least want to look at something nice. I would love to look at things the way they should look, at least. So I have something to be positive about when I watch the show. Isn't the TNG theme from the motion picture? Yes. Darth Eddy, you can tell the relative size of the Strange New World Enterprise by the size of the shuttlecraft when it passes over the saucer section in the Pike teaser footage. No way is that ship the size of an Excelsior. Good old gamer. Everyone seems to love the Connie refit, but the warp core apparently rests up against the torpedo launchers. So, Death Trap? It doesn't rest up against the fucking... it's lower, so it comes here, then it goes up through the neck for the impulse control crystal, and then the torpedo tube is like up higher. It doesn't rest up against it. Misha, Eagle Moss bombed my mailbox this week. Drive-by bombing. Eric Martin, Star Trek. Is that 4? No, Star Trek 6. Theme was good. Just saw it again today. Yes, it was. Darth Eddie, and those new angled windows on the saucer also help give away how big she is. Colin Barrett, the USS Jaeger, what you get when your kit bash budget runouts. When your kit bash budget runs out. Olivia Julius, hey Captain, working on learning Blender, playing live for background noise. Hey Olivia. Happiest gnome, Ethan Peck could never pull off blue eyeshadow. Video awesome, agreed. If the writing is terrible, it would be nice to look at good sets. Simon Kerr, are my comments showing? Ignored 3 times. I didn't ignore any of your comments. I read all your comments, except for hello, because... And one message was retracted from you, so I couldn't read that. Your first one said hello, Captain. I just, usually when I'm this far into the live, I kind of skip the hellos. I usually get those in the first 20 minutes. It depends. Second one was message retracted. Third one was hello. And yes, they're getting through. General Grievous, hit the like button, folks. Let's get to 50. Yes, 42 likes, 74 people here. Hit that like button. 8 more likes. Let's get to 50. Colin Barrett. Word in the Officers Club is the NCC 1701 refit is a flying death trap, according to Admiral Kirk, anyway. The Darth Eddie. Strange New World's got one thing right in engineering. When Hemmer pushes some slide controls, you can see a matte paint surface with smudges like the TOS bridge, and what might be a TOS-style compound. Well, we'll see. Trekyard, on the Connie refit, the torpedo launcher is against the core, but the magazines are not. The torpedoes are loaded via autoloaders, and thus if the torpedo launcher is struck, the magazines are safe. Yes, absolutely. There's no room to store torpedoes there anyway. Is the Enterprise refit in the motion picture the same size as the TOS Enterprise? Is the refit TMP Enterprise any different than the NCC 1701A? So the Refit Enterprise is slightly larger than the TOS Enterprise, just because the TOS Enterprise hull plating was stripped off, and then they basically reskinned it for the refit. So it's still built on the same substructure. It's pretty much the same size-wise. It's just slightly bigger. And yes, the 1701A is exactly the same size as the refit. Michael Strathmore. I purposely ignored all Strange New Worlds marketing. Haven't seen a thing. My novel-length rants on each Picard episode may suggest I only want to troll, but I'm going to call the ball and strikes as I see them. Call the balls and strikes as I see them. Yeah, that's what we do too, so good man. Kit 10K, Gene wanted to make the Enterprise separate back in the TOS, but he couldn't because of budgetary reasons. And I wonder if they'll do it in Strange New Worlds for some reason and reconnect in the end of the episode. Well, it shouldn't be able to reconnect. If it did saucer separate, there's actually a few different separation methods for that ship. One was the saucer separation. One actually ejected the nacelles out of the secondary hull in case of an emergency with them. If they were going to explode, you could eject the... We've done a 2-part video on it, actually, on saucer separation. According to the technical manual, it can saucer separate for emergency landing for the saucer, and even the BC deck can be ejected as like a lifeboat. But anyway, regardless, it shouldn't be able to reconnect on its own like they did in Star Trek Continues. It actually says it requires a starbase or a space station facility to reattach it, because it basically uses exploding bolts that break off panels. You can actually see the separation line on the neck of the refit. It's 2 little red stripes. That whole section like blows out, and then So you need to reconnect it. You need to have a ship facility or something where you can actually reconnect it and fix that part. So it's not just a simple separate and attach like the 1701D. Why didn't the board queen just kill a baby Zephram Cochrane or Dr. Soong? No need to make a deal with Girardi. The Darth Eddy. The refit is 305 meters, and the TOS is 289. Yeah, because it had all new nacelles put on. Like the nacelles, the struts are completely different. The shape of the secondary hull is different, but the refits is bigger because it was built over the superstructure of the TOS one. It's more barrel-like. So yeah, it is longer because of the nacelles and stuff. And like I said, it is a little bit bigger than the TOS Enterprise just because they built on top of the TOS Enterprise essentially. So there's a little bit more length in the saucer. It's a tad. So yes. Cody Michael, speaking of the refit, are you going to get back to your 1350 refit? Someday. Andre Benson, Star Trek Continues finale had a saucer separation. Yes, it did. It was cool to see, but the reattachment was... Eric Martin, just make sure if you separate, Deanna isn't at the helm. Bryce says, oh gods, I forgot about Spock's blue eyeshadow. Now it's going to bug the hell out of me every time I see either of the new Spocks without it. Thanks for ruining the all-new Spocks for me. Shannon Bailey, so I've read about 5 reviews for the first 5 episodes of Strange New Worlds, and the consensus is it's the best Trek since the old Trek. Lighter, more fun, good humor, and great cast that are interesting. Good. I'm happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. Fleet Paw is sharing part 1 and part 2 of the saucer separation videos. If you haven't seen them, I would highly suggest opening them in a new tab and go and watching them after this live, because they're one of the ones I'm most proud of. Colin Barrett, indeed, the TOS Connie saucer has landing struts. It does. Good old gamer, why doesn't every ship have the ability to eject the nacelles? That seems incredibly handy, especially since the warp core ejection always fails. Well, the rumor is that they do. Most of them do have that option. They just never fucking use it. Chuck Jones, early reviews of Stranger Worlds are in. Not entirely positive. Writing will continue to be weak, so no surprise. Video awesome. Bye. I'm back to watching TMP 4K Director's Cut. Live long and prosper. See you later, video awesome. Fleet Paw. Plot like for Strange New Worlds episodes, and the cells are going to explode so they can eject them. Pike and company are then towed to a shipyard where they will install new straight struts in the cells. Hell yeah, I'd be down for that. Shannon Bailey, Chuck Jones, I've read the Strange New Worlds reviews and they're very positive overall. Trek or not, we all know that Roswell incident was a Connie saucer thrown back in time and crashing, hence why we have a different timeline and no eugenics wars, and hence why we have mobile flip phones. This is Jericho. I read those reviews, some strange casting choices on a certain character. Yeah, Captain Robert April. You don't have to be coy about it, everybody knows. Ryan Linder, why didn't Picard and Watcher just beam onto the ship instead of wasting time in the house? Good question. We don't know that either. It's a stupid plot hole in that last episode. King Cut, God, I hope they go back to beam phasers with arcs. I know the original didn't have arcs, but I am sick and tired of bolt phasers with the inception of the Defiant. Pulse phasers, yeah. Whew. Daniel's Hot Topics. Hi, Captain Foley. I just heard that they are going to have Captain April in Strange New Worlds, and he will be black. I thought Captain April was white. He was. He was, in the last episode of Star Trek The Animated Series, he was old white admiral, or commodore, whatever he was. And in all of their beta canon, he's basically Gene Roddenberry. They've used pictures of young Gene Roddenberry to be Robert April. But, you know, they're doing their thing, and that's that. Michael Strathmore, how often do reviewers stick around to review the full season? Few, if any, so let's keep reviews in context. We always do, so. Trekyards would make sense to have two cores placed inside the nacelle superstructure where there are two nacelles. Daniel's Hot Topics. Are they trying to change Star Trek history again? I have no comment on that. The final week. Captain, on a fundamental level, why is writing on all new Star Trek so weak? Shouldn't be if the best of this generation's young writers be producing something much better. My theory is that because all of the new writers are younger, like millennials or zillennials, whatever the fuck they are, none of them learned how to write cursive. Therefore, they don't have any creativity. There's no uniqueness. They're just bad writers because they didn't learn cursive. Get off my lawn. Plus, they hire people that have never written before, in the cases of Picard, and they also hire people that don't know anything about Star Trek, which is incredibly fucking stupid. Trying to make the shows like CW melodramas or teen dramas, and that's not what Star Trek is. I'm gonna fucking kill my kid. I'm telling you, Jesus Christ. Colin Barrett, after seeing Discovery eject its warp core, no wonder the systems never work. Bouncing the warp core around in a giant pinball machine most likely blows up long before you see. That was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. Eject the warp core. Ping, 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 pew. On the way out. The fuck? That is not at all safe. No, Voyager, the big warp core just out the bottom, as it should. Bryce Burchett, wishful thinking. In the last season, Stranger Worlds Enterprise has separated the saucer and it crashes beyond style, where it's a total loss. So we get a new saucer that is basically the TOS version and new struts. Simon Kerr, if you look at the Enterprise D at the end of the opening credits, you can see a separation line for the nacelle. Trekyards, the disco core ejector system is evidence that the writers have no common sense nor real-world experience. Simon Kerr, and April was from Coventry, the city I'm from. That's cool. Bryce Burchett, geez, yeah, I was like, why don't they just beam onto the La Serena? All they needed was a like about the shields being up so they couldn't beam aboard. But the shields weren't up because all the systems were locked out because of the encryption. So, the Darth Eddy, I hope photon torpedo casings go back to looking like they did in TOS movies and TNG era, because those elongated weird ones in Discovery just don't look right for Starfleet photon torpedoes. Daniel's Hot Topic. If Captain April was white before and now he's black, then it's a new universe. Kit 10K. I need to take my computer to a computer store and have them run diagnostics on it. I was so happy with how my ship turned out that I showed you yesterday, and it's still not fixed, despite repair rendering the file for 5 hours. Misha says, I think it's because everything is either written by committee or has to go through one to be accepted. It's a bit of that, too. Ryan Lindler, why didn't the Borg Queen just assimilate Dr. Soong? No need to make a deal with him. Trekyards. I don't know, Ryan. I don't know. Trekyards. It's why a lot of things fail now, because people get jobs through nepotism and are not always the best people for the job. But hey, they know someone, so you're special. Mr. Captain 93, why didn't they bring back some of the TNG DS9 or Voyager writers? That's a good question. Why didn't they bring back the original fucking guys like Rick Sternbach and Doug Drexler and stuff on Discovery? We don't want anybody associated with old Trek working on new Trek. We want it to be our own thing. That's why. Because they're fucking stupid. SC Scout Guy, I wonder if Strange New Worlds will be shown on CBS regular network TV like they did with Discovery's pilot. No idea. Eric Martin, $2. That's a lot of talking. Take a drink. It is a lot of talking, and I haven't had much of a drink. This is like practically full. Daniel's Hot Topics. Yeah, about that. When Discovery ejected the warp core, it was like a ping pong ball. I was shocked that the core did not explode and blow up Discovery along with the mothership they are in. Bryce says there was an episode of TOS where Kirk was on a planet and he was talking to Scotty, who was on the ship, and Kirk told him to jettison the nacelles if you have to. Yes, it was from The Apple, the episode The Apple. And yeah, it was actually in the original TOS Star Trek Bible that they had, that the ship could separate the nacelles from the ship as well as the saucer. So Fleet Path puts in $2. Hey, quiet, shut the fuck up. I'm live. Shut your yap, LOL. He's not talking, he's just wandering around the hallway like a fucking ghost. Having teenagers like living in a haunted house, occasionally you'll just catch the glimmer of something in the corner of your eye and you look and it just scurries away. Charles Williams, the Borg exists because the Queen was lonely. We should get a new spin-off show of the adventures of the New Age Borg doing their friendly style assimilation in the Delta Quadrant. Starman Falls. What do you think about the opening credits of Strange New Worlds? Pretty nice. Look good. We'll be doing a live talking about that tomorrow. So, Simon Kerr, I like the new Strange New World Enterprise. I'm glad for you. E.R. Mixon's Craziest Theories. The last episode was probably the best of this season. Gives me a little hope that they won't drop the ball for the finale. Are you kidding me? That last episode of Picard was one of the worst episodes of this season. Okay, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Kudos to you. Yeah, let's hope they don't drop the ball. The Darth Eddy, the Apple. Kirk tells Scotty to eject the nacelles and get to safety with the rest of the Enterprise if they couldn't get away from Val's weapon beam. Grant McGregor, $20. Oh, that's an awesome super chat, my friend. This super chat is for you and Samuel when the live wrap-up episode, as I will be on the job. With season 2 over, did this change your goals to make fan fiction or deliver content? Do you find your work more important? Season 2 over, did this change your goals to make fan fiction or deliver content? Do you find your work more important? I don't know what you mean. Didn't change any of my goals. There we go. Thank God. This is Jericho. At least Robert April was also on Smallville. Keeps the tradition going. Misha, tonight it's not Peanut with us. It's Oscar instead. Well, hello, Oscar. Ryan Linder, if the ship can make holograms of that kid, Elnor, the episode when Picard needed a doctor makes no sense. They could have used an EMH hologram. Except they couldn't beam at the time, I don't think. I think the transporters were down then. The transporters went through instances of being working and then not working, depending on what kind of diagnostic state the ship was in. So, yeah, you're not wrong, but General Grievous, the older Star Trek would get across an important moral story or message in a subtle but obvious way to make you go, huh, that's interesting. New Trek hits you over the head. Yes. There's a difference in making you think and telling you what to think. E.R. Mixon's Craziest Theories. The whole April thing is not confirmed. We just need to wait and see. But if they do make him black, maybe that will be an excuse to go back and update all of the animation for the animated series. Mr. Captain 93, I've never trusted Kurtzman, and I never will. I've never been able to forgive him for what he's doing to Trek. Daniel's Hot Topics. I heard that CBS Paramount fired everyone involved with Old Trek, like Berman, Brown, Braga, and the rest. Yeah, so did JJ. Well, when JJ's 2009 came out, JJ wanted nobody that had ever worked on Trek before to be on the team. Thank Christ, Johnny snuck his way in somehow. So, yeah. I don't see how the nacelles would save the ship. The antimatter containment is in the core, isn't it? Yes, but if you get damage to the warp, the warp coils in the nacelles, or the plasma feeds going up to the struts, instead of plasma leaking out and causing a potential problem to the rest of the ship, you just eject the goddamn things. There's also been feedback incidences like we see in Cause and Effect, where the nacelle gets struck by the Bozeman, and it's actually the nacelle that blew up first because it ruptured some of the warp coils inside. So they were full of charged plasma, and if they get damaged, or the structural integrity field or the containment units around them get damaged, it's gonna cause the nacelle to blow up, which in turn blew the rest of the goddamn ship up in Cause and Effect. So I hope that answers your question. So you can separate the nacelles, you can separate the saucer, you can eject the warp core. There's many different things depending on the situation you're in. Tim McCaffrey, I don't see how the... I read that one. All right. Josh M., I was able to attend the Stranger Worlds premiere in New York. Cool. Lucky you. Mr. Captain 93, wait, if the Ducat skull... Is that Ducat skull on your bookshelf? No, it's not. Fleetpaw, are you supposed to shout that super... You were supposed to shout that super chat. I'm not going to. Michael Strathmore, I'd love to pick Mark Bernardin's brain on his experience as a supervising producer on Picard Season 2. They asked him back for 3, but he turned it down for another gig. Bet has a story or two. Josh M., I think you guys are going to have some issues with canon, but it's really good. Reminded me of 90s Trek. Oh yeah, we already know that going in. We already know we're going to have issues with canon, but it's fine. Daniel's Hot Topics. I wonder how they will tie Strange New Worlds into TOS in a few years. Fingers crossed they will. Hope springs eternal. Shannon Bailey says, the one guy who wrote the first couple of Picard Season 2 episodes, the good ones, moved on to write the entire Season 3 of Picard. Akiva was left to write the rest of Season 2. That's why it failed. Yes, I've already said that like 4 times during the course of this live, but thank you. 75 people here, 58 likes, guys. Hit that like button. And the guy that wrote them was Terry Metalis. And yes, Akiva Goldsman then unfortunately took over, and you can tell. Who's the better Spock, Ethan or Zach? They're both good. I think Zachary Quinto looks like a fucking bobblehead, though. He just looks like a stylized version of Spock. I don't know. They're both good in their own way. I think Ethan Peck did a good job when he had the beard in Discovery, but... Simon Kerr, are you excited to see the old TNG cast? Yes. Yes, I am. Callum McIntyre, if Seven was denied admission to Starfleet due to her Borg nature, why was each ep allowed to join up? I know the last episode was a mess, even with a strong start, but it stood out. It absolutely did. I think what happened was Starfleet basically said, you're too pig-headed and strong-willed, you don't take direction well, and you're going to do what you're going to do, so we're not going to accept you. And she took it as, well, they fucking know I'm me because I'm a Borg. Because all fucking season she's been, they look at me funny because I have Borg implants. They look at me funny because I have Borg implants. They don't trust me because I have Borg implants. I think it's all in her fucking head. And I think she twisted it around to say that they don't allow Borg in Starfleet, which is bullshit. So that's what I think. I think it was just an excuse. Bryce, I mean, think about it, the Fennec Ranger, she's got more control, more autonomy to do what she needs to do, what she has to do, what she wants to do. I don't think she'd do very well in a Starfleet structure. She didn't on Voyager, she many times bucked the rules. Sure, sometimes she fell in line and she got better over the course of the season, or the series, I mean, but Bryce, in my headcanon, the disco warp core bounced around like that because the ship was damaged and the magnetic field generator that guides the warp core safely out of the walls was offline. Okay. Why was it so small compared to the size of the shaft? If you watch Voyager, when the warp core comes out, guess what? It's the exact same size as the shaft for that very fucking reason. So, what? Kit 10K. I just watched the TOS episode The Apple, and Kirk said to jettison the engineering section if Scotty had to, not the warp engines. He never said warp engines. He did say nacelles, I believe. Eric Martin. I checked the half-screen video, and the warp core is just in front of the front wall of the torpedo bay. Half screen is half screen. That's his own interpretation of the designs. If you actually look at the blueprints, I don't care the fuck what half screen said. I'll be fair. The 2 torpedo tubes are on either side of the core. You do realize that the warp core in the Refit Enterprise, Eric, is horizontal. It's the one that goes back to the struts that you see Scotty standing in front of. The one that goes up is the impulse control crystal one, which actually powers the impulse engines. So it's actually a different offshoot. It's not the warp core. That is not the warp core that goes between the torpedo tubes. So, yeah, but that's half screen. I mean, it's his interpretation of what things should look like, so. The Darth Eddie. If Rios decides to stay in the past, there's a perfect setup for the actor to remain on the show every week. He just plays one or more of the Lost Arena holograms, so he gets to keep his main billing. Tony Pearson understand that Adrian Holmes, who plays young Uncle Phil in Bel Air, goes, Robert April. Yeah. Ear Mixon's craziest theories. Let's not kid ourselves. All Trek hits us over the head at times. Let's not forget the episode with the guys who were half black and half white. It's true. Ryan says the transporters were working when Picard was sick. They beamed a medical tricorder to Rios in the room. Yes, this is true. But that was after he was stabilized, though. When he was actually in critical condition and Teresa was working on him, they might not have been working. I don't fucking know. Like, just bad writing is the answer. But beaming in the thing, it could have had limited power because the power systems were cycling or something. It could have only been able to transport that little thing. Who the fuck knows, man? I honestly don't know. I'm sick and tired of making up excuses for bad writing to answer questions. And unfortunately, I have to do it way too much with New Trek. Anyway, Daniel's Hot Topics. I did not know John Eves was involved in Star Trek 09. That's interesting. Yes, his shuttle designs and stuff absolutely were. Yes. He snuck in. I forget how he did it. We asked him on an interview. We have an interview with John Eves where he talks about it. I just can't remember which one it is. But there is one of our interviews with him that does talk about that because we were thankful he got in. Trek or not, be cool to have the nacelle internals inside an ejectable secondary hull within the nacelle so it could be ejected without losing the outer nacelle housing. Arvor, I still hope that Agent Wells and his childhood backstory is just an act and he's really Duquesne, and that's how they got back to the future. Me too. Total Random Reviews, who's been a member for 23 months at the rank of captain. Hello, Plaid Man. How's it going, sir? We need you back to play some games sometime soon. Someone may have mentioned this. I just got in, but I was thinking. Seven was denied entrance into Starfleet, but not Egypt. Yes, we just talked about that. I think it was just in her mind, the way she perceived it. Or just bad writing, because they're idiots. King Cut. Across all the series, what would you say is your favorite episode of Trek? Something obvious and popular or more obscure? Out of all the series, what is your favorite episode? Jesus fucking Christ. You can't, it's impossible to pick, dude. One of my favorite episodes of Trek is In the Pale Moonlight. Another one is the Enterprise incident. Really like that one. To ask for, like, a favorite episode from each season, if I had a list of the episodes in front of me, it would be easier than pick one episode, your favorite episode out of all the Star Trek episodes. You can't answer that question. It's an impossible question, my friend. Oh, never mind. Someone brought it up. Yeah, Matt Boardman. Just hanging out with my kids until the weekend is over. Misha says, last season, Seven killed someone in cold blood. No, she would not make a good Starfleet officer. Janeway wouldn't bluff, so probably a made-up story. Stop. I want a DNA phaser pistol that you can hand my enemies and watch them blow themselves up. Hell yeah. You shouldn't have said anything. You just been. Actually, it'll realign itself to your DNA in just a sec. You just have to hold on to it. It might shake a little bit. It might feel a little bit unstable, but it's just acclimating to you. That's what I would have done as Rios. Not say, oh, it's going to blow up. Throw it. Like, fuck. Dumbass. Let him blow himself up. Seven always indicated on Voyager that she feared not fitting in on Earth, and at times it felt like she wouldn't join the return. Yes, a few times. Shannon Bailey, throw a shitload of cash at Ronald D. Moore for any future projects and we'll be in good hands. Wishful thinking. Hell yeah. Cody Michaels, it's totally in her head. No one in their right mind looks at Jerry Ryan with some metal on her face and thinks that. Bryce says, I'll be okay, I guess, accepting Robert April was actually black despite his look in the animated series because it was an animated and not live, and maybe the person who colors the cells was a brown ink. No, don't fucking make excuses like that. Fuck off. No. Every time we've seen Robert April, I think we've seen him in the encyclopedia as well. They have a picture of a young Gene Roddenberry. No, don't do that. Don't fucking give them that pass for that. Oh, they ran out of fucking brown ink. No. I'm sorry. No. What ships do you want to see in Picard Season 3? All of them. I want to see a Sovereign, I want to see a Galaxy, I want to see some new ships, I want to see really cool stuff. General Grievous, why didn't they have Seven join the Nabarite Alliance, or maybe reform the Maquis already established organization, let's say Starfleet, with a deeper lore? They did. They were called the Fenris Rangers. That's what she did. And honestly, because nobody gives a shit about the Maquis, or I don't even know what the Nabarite Alliance is. So, good tea, nice house. As a superior Trek YouTube channel and Trek community than most, do you or Samuel ever get invitations to premieres and previews? I've noticed other YouTubers get these invites. No, we don't. You have to actually apply to get those premiere passes and stuff. And I didn't know about that till not that long ago. I wanted to see if I could get in on the premiere of Strange New Worlds, but it was only in New York. It wasn't like an online premiere thing, so I couldn't even do that. So, no, we haven't been. Trekyards has standards, so I could see all of Paramount ignoring us. No, a lot of the people that work on the shows do watch us, so. Daniel's Hot Topics. Do you know if Captain Morgan Batesman, played by Kelsey Grammer in the TNG episode Cause and Effect, may be in Picard Season 3? Although Captain Morgan Batesman is a descendant of Dr. Fraser Crane. Well, he's not a descendant of Dr. Fraser Crane, first of all. Second of all, no, he won't be in Season 3. Let's see. What are the odds Renee Picard supplants John Luke after he dies in Season 3 like Renee is now she was supposed to? None. And no, Mr. Captain, there will be no questions about fused guys in the walls, because after they changed the timeline, that would have never have happened. So it's not an issue at all. Difference though is that TLs which draw a conclusion with the aliens who are on black and white side and black on the white side, right side. New Star Trek would like you to say, hey, their face, wink, wink. Total random reviews, $5. Let's change the subject for a sec. Can you give us a closer look at your Book of the Dead back there from the Mummy? Also, where'd you get it? I've shown it before. There's the Book of the Dead and the Book of the Living back there. Last time I showed it, I went to put it back and it broke. It's just an empty box, essentially. Here's the Book of the Living. Just an empty resin box, essentially. Sylvia's a big fan, so that's what it is. This one's the same. Just I got it someplace offline. It was just one of the Facebook ads that came up, and don't fall this time. Last time I did this, they fell, and it was not ideal. It was not a good situation. Thank you for the super chat. I'm not going to read all the comments anymore. I'm starting to develop a massive headache, actually, so probably going to call it quits soon here. Squadricore, just curious, what do you think of TNG Frame of Mind where Riker thinks he's in Asylum? I absolutely hate that episode. I think it's crap. It's subtle but obvious at the same time. There's a difference between being obvious and not subtle, and subtle yet obvious. The hyperbole in this chat is off the charts for what isn't a Discovery review. The hyperbole. Sorry, hyperbole. I was being sarcastic about the brown ink thing. I feel like ever since Enterprise aired that I've had to make convoluted excuse after excuse for bad writing. Yeah, that's why I said that earlier in this one. It's just, I'm getting tired of, and I'm usually pretty positive about that kind of thing. Like, I'll watch other YouTubers like Salty Trekker and stuff where they're like, why did this happen? It didn't make any sense. And I'll come in and be like, think about it. It could have been this. It could have been that. It could have been that. Hoping that any smart writer, any smart creative crew or team would come up with reasons to explain things. And some days I'm just not in the mood for it. Apparently today I'm not in the mood for it, and I don't know why. Like I said, maybe it's just because I'm developing a headache, so I should probably go soon, though. Just because, keep your weed in the Book of the Dead, yeah. Hear me out. I convinced him to hire Scott Bakula again. He plays a shadowy dude from Enterprise, and it turns out he is quantum leaping through time, correcting all of Kurtzman's error crap. It's gold. He would be in for a long haul. When Renee will die, one will live. The 2024 timeline, one dies. The Borg prosper, and the regular timeline, she lives. So prime timeline goes on. Okay. General Grievous, $2. Any thoughts on Moon Knight if you've seen it? Moon Knight is fantastic. I absolutely love Moon Knight. I'm a big fan of ancient Egypt. I got a bunch of ancient Egyptology books. I am really enjoying Moon Knight. I think Oscar Isaacs is killing it. Such a good actor. I'm really enjoying it. So, let's see. Eat a chicken sushi sandwich. You'll feel better. Fleetpaw throws in $5. Sorry you're getting a headache, man. It's fine. We still love you and appreciate everything you do. Cheers, Stuart. Thank you so much, Fleetpaw. I appreciate that. I don't know why. It just came on kind of quick. A lot of times, like, just reading is making my eyes strain, and so I'm like having trouble reading all these comments, and I think you'd probably tell when my headache started. I started to get a little bit snippy, so I apologize. But yeah. Good old gamer. I kind of love fan created retcons to fit everything together and make it work. It's like the extra lore you get in novels and games. Yeah, well, we try to do that a lot here, but it does get really tiring when the writers are just not keeping up their end of the... They're not doing their job. You know, they don't even think about it. They just write it and move on. And it's like, you should have some kind of explanation in mind when you write this kind of shit, you know? So, you're getting frustrated. Frustration tends to do that to me as well. I can send you my TTS program. What is that, Misha? Anyway, on that note, I think I'll just call it there. Yeah, I mean, I just figured I wanted to do a live, and it's just this one didn't uplift me like the last one that I did yesterday did. I was in a really good mood doing that one, and at the end of it, was just really stoked. This one, I'm just kind of like, and I'm done. So, CO2 headache. Well, that window is cracked, so I don't think that's it. Probably the best positive vibe Star Trek review channel on YouTube right now. Gotta say, man, keep up the great work, sir. Take it easy and have fun, good sir. Thank you. Thrown Dry 671. Appreciate that. Yes, good old gamer, you're right. Anyway, I'm going to call it there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry if I didn't read any of your comments at the end there. I really apologize. Sorry if I was snippy with my answers. I'm just sorry. I apologize. So, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about the new Strange New Worlds intro. And then it's a short couple of days until the premiere. So, anyway, until next time, live long and prosper. And I'll see you guys in the future. Bye, everybody. That's a lot. Gatling gun approach.